What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to Impactful Living Podcast. My name is Chrissy, and this is my husband, George.
And it's all about impacting the masses.
Yes. So today we are going to be talking about questions you must ask before getting married.
This is going to be good.
Yes, it is going to be good just because I know so many people are getting married nowadays, but so many people are getting divorced
True.
nowadays as well too.
You have to wonder why, though.
Yes, but for you and I, we have been together 15 years
Long time.
soon, right?
Long
In a
time.
couple months, we'll be together 15 years and 10 years married. I don't think we're not beginners, but we're not.
A lot of people doubted us too. Some people thought that we wasn't even gonna make the aisle.
Right?
So
But guess what? We made it, guys.
a decade. Over a decade, right?
Yes, I know. It's
Going
been a
on
beautiful
too.
things, you know. So, are some of you guys married that's tuning in today? Comment below because I just felt like this was a topic that needed to be discussed because, again, these are just questions that we came up with. Obviously, other people chimed in as well and just thought these were the top 10 things that we should ask before getting married.
And some of it might be controversial, but it's okay. Listen, I'm gonna say this right now. Like, if you get in your feelings, it's okay, right? Keep an open mind to all of this because it's people's opinion. I'm not even gonna say a people's opinion. It's our opinion on certain things. You have an opinion as well, and while you're chiming in, just let us know your opinion. But not because you feel like it's right, that means that it's right. Because everybody else have a different view. Everyone has a different view on things, right? So, with that said,
Let's go ahead and get started. So let's start off with me, guys, right?
uh-huh.
Because as you guys know, I met my husband in college. But when I met my husband in college, he his whole family calls him by his nickname, which is what I call him all the time. So I want to tell people out there for the number one question is to what is your real name? To figure out what is on your birth certificate, what is on your driver's license.
So
Because I was tricked.
So it's not trick. It's not trick, right? But is that the right way to come on and be like, yo, I need to see a birth certificate or I need to see a
No,
driver's
but like,
license? I mean, you could play
I
around
feel
and say,
like
yo,
you
I
should
need to
tell
see a driver's
somebody
license.
what your name is, though.
But if you meet a Jamaican, you're not gonna get their real name.
That's not true.
I'm a be real.
I've been with
Most Jamaican have a nickname, right? Most Jamaicans have a nick. If you're born in Jamaica, I have to see I'm going in my accent and all that stuff. So if you're born in Jamaica and you're growing up in Jamaica, you have a nickname, right?
Okay, I have a nickname too.
99% of the time.
When I saw you,
right?
I told you what my name was.
No, it's almost the same thing.
All right.
Like I already know that's a nickname for something. If you meet somebody and they say their name is Ken, right? Most likely their name is Kenneth, right? So if you meet somebody and their name is Chrissy, most likely their name is right. So it's a whole different thing. So now you meet somebody from Jamaica, most like I'm gonna say Jamaica because I only can talk about where I'm from, and I told her my name is Sheldon. Now I grew up. My name is Sheldon. It's just not on my birth certificate. Okay. So
because sometimes I'd be in the stories and I may say Sheldon, they'd be like, "What? Who?" Like the other day, we had a birthday party and half the people was calling him his government name and half the people was calling him his nickname.
Yeah. So people was like, "Yo, who's what?" So again, it's a valid thing, right? You need to know the person if that's their real name or not, because sometimes you meet somebody and they might tell you a name and it's not really their name. Growing up in Jamaica, I'll it's when somebody's dead and then you're at their funeral, be like, that's their real name, and he'd be like, oh shit, I didn't know that. I've been calling him this the whole time. So I guess that's valid. I guess
Okay.
that's valid.
So that was the number one,
Mhm,
right? Just something
mhm.
simple, just to start off this conversation.
Yo, I'm gonna go straight for it. I'm gonna straight go for it because for my question, one of my question is, nowadays we live in a society where people are doing all different types of stuff. So my thing is, yo, are you a man or are you a woman?
Hoo hoo hoo.
Right? So I'm gonna just say like, yo, were you born a man or were you born a woman? Because and I'll be more specific because even though you have gender right now, and you might meet somebody, and some of these girls out here,
Okay,
how
let me say
how,
this
how do I
way.
put that?
Some of the ones that have transitioned, like they looking better than us. Okay, these listen, y'all are
so
baddies out
so
here,
so
and I can't even tell
So some of the stuff that I've seen on TikTok, I can't even believe, or on
those
other social media.
transformations be
I can't even believe that they're
amazing.
men to begin with, right? So thank you God that I have my woman already.
How you know that I was a woman?
Yo,
No, we're not gonna go into
because
that.
you,
He's gonna
you,
start talking some vulgar
what?
stuff, so we're not even gonna go
You're
there.
lucky, you know. You're lucky. All right. So I was about to say because I've
I
been
know,
okay.
I know.
All right. So nowadays you have people that has transitioned and they don't recognize themselves as being a man anymore, right? They recognize themselves as a female. So when you meet them, they're gonna say, "Yo, are you a man or a woman?" They'd be like, "Yo, I'm a woman," right? But and they answered your question, right? Yo, are you a man or a woman? But my thing is, you have to go straight for it and say, yo, were you born a man or were you born a woman, right? Because now you're asking a direct question,
Because
right?
society has changed, and there's so many things that's constantly changing. I felt like that was a good question to ask nowadays.
Because I mean, yo, and especially in Atlanta, you got some of these people you can't tell
Who's a man,
sometimes.
who's a woman? So
Sometimes
sometimes
you just
I
gotta
just
be
feel
like,
like
yo, and
this.
yo, no, if y'all want to be careful, nothing in the dark, right? We grown people, right?
Okay,
Nothing in the dark. Be like, yo, if you always gotta turn on the light, if you always gotta turn off the lights, question that, okay? Just question that a little bit.
no,
Uh,
but there is people that do surgeries and do certain things, so you cannot tell. But what I'm trying to say is that I just feel like if you did switch or whatnot, that you should give that person the opportunity to tell you, like, yes, I want to be with you. No, I don't want to be with you, and not trick anyone into something. I just think it should be open and it should be something that's discussed. If I choose to go that way, I choose to go that way, but at least I know I wasn't tricked into something. So that's my only thing about that. Why I say that is a good, valid question nowadays, because in our society, like so much has changed, and I don't feel like you should be tricked into something. I feel like you should just come out and say, "Yo, this is what I was. This is what I am now. It's either you rocking with me or you not," and that's that.
but when now the thing is that could that's a crazy shit because some people might not even want to tell, right? And that could become
It
that
can, but if
because
a
we've
problem
seen
develops,
we've seen a
then
lot of that happen. We've seen quite a few of that happen over social media, and it wasn't a pretty sight,
no.
right?
But
So
that's what I'm saying. Honesty. That's where it comes down to, is honesty.
okay,
So for me, guys, anybody that knows me know my question, which is always my number one question: what is your FICO score? What is your credit score? Because I feel like it's important. It's important to know. It lets you know, like, yo, is this person responsible or not? Like, I'm the type of person everybody used to call me in college, the bill collector, right? That was my name. I do not play about finances. I do not play about stuff like that. So if I'm going to marry
she don't,
you, I
she
don't
don't, she
ask
don't,
him.
she
What
don't,
is your score, sir? What is your
she
score?
don't.
No,
But back then,
no. Even back then, we
back
met in college,
so back then I thought
right?
back then I was decent. I was still working on my shit back then. I was
But
decent.
what was I? I've always been
Yeah,
excellent.
but the
But
thing is
again,
the thing is some people have the start, right? You get a start in a life, right?
did I get a start originally?
You get a start in life.
Originally, no, I didn't. So let's be honest about it, right? I went through the same channels just like everybody else. Went and got a student credit card, which is the worst thing to do. You might as well just go ahead and get a regular credit card. And that's how I started. I did not start with a start. The start that I got was education. One thing I could say is my dad taught us about finances and taught us about credit because the industry that he was in. So he always preached that to
Okay.
us. So
Okay.
I never got a start to say. I was just very responsible with my money, and I just knew that like credit mattered in America, and I just did not want to fall into that. But also, the person that I was going to be with, I needed to know that you were financially responsible because I had goals up to here.
Yeah, yeah. She kind of made it feel like, yo, if my credit score wasn't up to par, so but I had a little decent credit score at the time. To me
Because
right
that could
now,
have bugged
to
you.
to me right now, it was horrible, right? When I really find out, but at the time, is like when I looked at it, nobody taught me financial literacy, right? The only thing I knew, and the only thing that concerned me was, I always, when I was taking the city bus, I used to see people driving by blasting their music, and I'm like, yo, one day I'm gonna have that, but for me to have that, I know that I have to have good credit, right? So I made it my goal to make sure that I build my credit, right? Now, in that process of building my credit, I messed my credit up because of course, utilization, all that stuff. But not knowing how credit really works, I just know that I need to get credit cards. So I used to max out shit, right? But worked on it. Now, y'all can't talk shit about me, right? Because my credit score is at 826. So, so
Let's get it right.
I'm gonna say that, but credit is really important because now my biggest thing is a next question that I'll come up
No,
with.
but wait, hold on though.
Oh,
But why can that humbug somebody? Like why? Like for the people that are getting married,
mhm.
right? Having good credit score or a bad credit score, like why should they ask this question? Why do you feel they should ask that question?
Having a because I mean, when you're talking about building a life together, now you're hindering yourself. So in a sense where you're going to buy something, now it's going to cost you more money. You're going to buy a house, you can't get the house, or if you get the house, you're paying a lot more. If you were supposed to buy that house, if you're buying a car, you're paying a lot more for that car than if you had your good credit and being by yourself.
But don't you?
Now there's things that you could be strategic with. The same thing that I'm talking about, somebody in real estate might say, yo, well, you don't have to do that, and I teach people not to do that. If you're together as a family, as a married couple or a couple, don't buy things together. Meaning, when you're buying a house, make the one person that qualify for that house, the best qualified person, go ahead and buy that house. If you're buying a car, make that qualified person buy that car. Now, if one person just buy a house, maybe the next person buy the car. If you're buying a car first, well, if you know that the spouse is more qualified to buy the house, then maybe then the husband go ahead and buy the car. So you don't tie up your debt to ratio when it comes to that. So that's the reason why sometimes you can move past the credit score, but at the same time you're working on your credit score. It's not something that, we all know credit is important in America. We all know that,
Yes.
right? So that's something that if you meet somebody and they don't give a shit about credit, then that there's a lot that goes behind that when it comes to them being reliable, them being dependable, them being, responsible, them being credible.
Yeah.
So those are things that you have to look at. If somebody don't give a shit about their credit score, then nah,
It's
nah,
not the one. But I
nah.
found someone that cared.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Me
you
have
could.
me they have goals.
He had goals. He had dreams and
Me have
desires.
goals. And goals include having good credit.
Exactly. So you had another one. What was another?
Mine is more important than that, I feel like. So mine was the debt part, right? Do you have any debt? And for me, right, I'm not gonna be the one. Some people might catch in them feelings, but yo, if I meet somebody and they have a shitload of debt, I don't want to be with them because once I'm married to them, I'm taking on their debt. I don't care how good shit is. I don't care how good shit is, right? I am not getting married to somebody with a shitload of debt. I'm
But
not doing
also,
it.
we got to remember though, there's different phases in life, right? So there are some people that might be watching here that are still in college, right? They're
Hmm.
still in college, so we all know when you go to college, a lot of people have student loan debt, they have certain things like that. But then there are people that are in an established like age, I would say, like you and I are right now. Like if you're now in your 30s, you're going to your 40s.
Yeah, I'm not
Like I'm not
talking
about to
about
pick.
I'm not talking about college students. When we was in college, we all got debt. Shit, I had debt, right? But I'm talking about people right now. You're
Yeah.
in your 30s and you're looking to build. You're not
40s, 50s.
you're looking to build. So at that point, if I meet somebody and you have $100,000, $200,000 in student loan, when I marry you, I'm taking on that fucking debt. I, your shit ain't that damn good. I could get a lot of damn hookers or
Oh my
whatever it is
God.
before. That's paying 200 grand. Yo, I'm being real right here. So
Listen, you
I'm
guys.
not doing that shit. I'm not that. Now that's me personally, right? That's me personally. Other people might do it. They might love the person. They might say, "Yo,
I'm not
Bill,
doing that shit either. So don't get it twisted. Let me tell you something. I
you
have
you
children.
you sitting here
We're
like
married, so we're
you're
not going
sitting here
nowhere,
like
right?
you're
No,
sitting
I
here like you would like yo, you
no,
ain't gonna defend me, like
no,
yo.
no. I was just
So
saying if you were in college, for the younger people who are watching our podcast, sometimes you will get with somebody that has hefty debt or whatnot. But it's according to what type of debt you have also. So if you have, okay, you went to school to get an education, you went to school to be a doctor, lawyer, something of that nature, we know that you're gonna come with a little bit of baggage,
no,
right?
no, you're
But
gonna
I'm
come with a
talking,
lot of damn baggage.
okay, I was trying to say it nicely. But hold on.
Doctors, lawyers come with a lot of baggage. When now the thing is
But
this,
they can
right?
make the money. I'm
They
talking about.
can, but when you meet them in college and you be like, oh shit, they gonna be a doctor, and oh shit, they're in their last, they're in their last phase, and then they decide that they don't want to do it anymore. So what happens then?
You still got to pay back them loans.
Yeah, and then you done married to the person because you thought they were gonna be a doctor. How that work
No,
out?
that's not you. You're not with the person because you thought they were going to be a doctor. You were with the person because you truly felt like you love that person and all the other.
So so now I know a lot of people that went to school to be in the medicine world, right, or medicine field, and they have a lot of debt. And the thing is, rightfully so, once you graduate, you'll make the money. But the thing is, that's separate from me saying, yo, you meet somebody, they're no longer in school, and they have a shitload of debt, and they're not even doing what they're supposed to do or how they accumulated. They went to school to be a doctor. They're not a doctor, and you meet them and they have a shitload of student loans. I'm not doing that. I, I'm not doing that.
But I just feel like
I
it's
am
a
not
type
taking.
of debt.
I'm not taking that on, right? Then you might meet somebody that, yo, they have cars, they had cars, and yo, they didn't give a shit. They had repos, all that shit. Like, yo,
Oh,
you
I'm out.
got
I'm
people
running.
out on you, but that comes back on the credit part, right? Because their
No,
credit is jacked,
correct.
right?
So that's why I said in the previous question, you got to know what is your credit score because that's going to let me know if you are even responsible, if you're financially, literate, whatever you want to say. But the debt part comes to me. If you have debt, right? You tell me you got $100,000 in debt, and I asked you how you got $100,000 in debt. You got credit cards. You maxing out Dillard's, Macy's, all Best Buy. You got all of that. You just reckless with your money. I'm out because that's showing me you're not going to be responsible. I don't want that for like if you're now about to have children. I don't want that. Like you can't be going into marriages thinking that you could change people.
Whew.
Okay, you cannot go into marriage thinking, well, he was reckless with his money before, but he's going to be responsible. Some people do grow up, but then some people don't, and it puts you in financial bondage. It puts you in heartaches and pains, and then you end up with a divorce anyway, which gonna cost you money anyway. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
gonna be expensive
Anyway.
anyway.
No, but seriously though, I just feel like okay, if you're young and you got student loans, that's one thing. But if you're an adult and you out here just being reckless, run, y'all, run. You remember that show on YouTube, the prank one? They say run, and you just start running.
Yeah.
Like seriously, I think those are signs, and we look past those little. They're not little shit. You look past those signs and think that that person is gonna change because they're with you. It doesn't always work so.
Yeah. So I mean, again, for me, I had student loan debt, but one of
Comment
my
below and let us know who's tuning in.
yeah, so we just jump straight into it, right? So guys, let us know where you're chiming in from, as well. But one of the things that I looked at is I had student loan debt as well.
But not
But
much.
what I did was I was like, yo, this is messing me up. So I immediately worked on like getting rid of that, right? I took paychecks on paychecks, and I sacrifice sometimes my whole paycheck for that period and just put on my student loan, right? Because I want to get rid of it. Now it comes to a point where, if people move on and then years later, then yo, you don't give a shit about it, and then you meet somebody. Remember, when you get married, you're taking on all the financial responsibilities that person
All the
had,
baggage.
all the baggage, all the good, the bad, and the ugly. A lot of people, they're in this cuckoo damn land where they meet the person, they're excited, and they move, they look past a lot of shit. And then when it comes down to it, when you're out of that Google Gaga phase, right? And then real life shit hit you, you'd be like, damn, I didn't realize what I took on.
But
Because now we can't live the life that we
correct.
want
I
to,
was just gonna say
because
that.
the simple fact that I have to pay your damn student loans, or I have to do this, or I have to do
Because you're
that.
married,
No,
right? You feel like you're obligated to help. You're in the household. Some people don't do finances together. There are some couples that's like, yo, that's your stuff. This is my stuff. But I just feel like, how do you work that way? I don't personally know how that works because we have a marriage where we are kind of unified. We have our goal. We have separate goals. We have our goals together for the
right,
unity of our family. I just feel like when you are taking on somebody's irresponsibilities,
right,
right? You can't travel the way you dreamed of. You can't provide your kids with a certain kind of lifestyle because you at a chokehold, right? You're a chokehold to the government because you owe or
Now,
whatever it
I'm
is.
not I'm not saying to anybody that, yo, you might be with somebody and they're going to school right now and they have a lot of debt. Be like, oh my God, let me stop
No,
it
I
right here,
mean you're
right?
already there.
Like, like I said, some of the things can be controversial, but for me, I know I'm not doing certain things. I'm at a stage in my life where friggin' like I have nightmares about school, going back to school, right? So for me, it's like I'm not doing that. But if somebody wants to go back to school to further their education, then fine, you can do that. But just know that you're responsible for the debt that you're taking on, right? And when you're taking that on, know that a lot of people quit when they go to school, they don't finish, right? And when you don't finish and you take on debt, you have to pay that back, right? And now if you're not paying it back and then you meet somebody, well, that's a baggage that you come with. That's part of
Hmm.
something that you come with, because yo, your credit score is going to be affected, right?
Yep.
Then how you move is going to be affected, because every month you're obligated to pay. I know people with hundreds of $1,000s of student loan debt, right? You paying $900 a month before you even get it. You owe $900 a month before anything, and you'd be like, yo, that $900 could be going towards your kids future, right? If I
Hmm.
meet somebody and they're paying $900 a month and they're not even paying it, right? And I come and meet them now and I have a good financial, I'm financially stable. I come in their life and now I have to take on that when
It's
I
like
could be putting that towards my kids' future, or somebody. Nah, I'm not doing that. Like the stage that I'm in, the mindset I'm in, I'm not doing that. I don't care how the good the shit is. Peace out.
no, a lot of people be feeling some kind of way when we tell people, marriage is like a business, right? It's similar, right? You come in, okay, for example, if you are a business, are you going to pick up, are you going to acquire another business with so much hefty debt? You're not going to do that in a regular business deal.
I mean, it just
It's
depends on how.
it's bad business.
It just depends. Where do you see the and that's the thing, right?
Exactly. It
That's the
depends. Just
that's
like
the
I
thing.
said in
Is
the marriage.
there's criterias, or there's certain things. I mean, when you're buying a business, sometimes you want to. Some people look for business that are shit, but they see potential in the business. So some people could be like, "Yo, I
I
meet
see
this
potential in
girl,
that person.
and I see potential in them," and they might go ahead and
But
do
wait a
that.
minute though. That debt, when they acquire and they look at those balance sheets and they look and they say, okay, what is the debt from? It's from growing your business, marketing, doing certain things. But it's not reckless, just the
Just
CEO living
overpaying,
it up, just you
overpaying. Correct,
doing
correct.
dumb stuff with the money. So at
Mm.
that time, you'll go ahead and say, I'll acquire the business. I think what I have, the assets and what you got, we can make something work,
Okay,
right? But if it's,
okay,
you
okay.
understand what I'm trying to say?
Okay,
I don't care. I'm always
okay.
gonna say marriage is like a business because it to me. It
Shit, it sure is.
is. So the next one I would say is, do you have children? Do you have kids? I think that's a
She
question
say
that you should ask.
children's is good as any.
Children, do you have a child? Do you have children? Like, how do you want me to put this out? Like, it's, you guys understand what I mean. Do you have kids? Do you have a kid? Like, so for some people, that's a deal breaker. Some people don't want kids. Some people do want kids. But I just think it should be something that's said, because I want to determine, if I come to you, me and you dating, we're kicking it, and we get to a certain stage and I still haven't met your kid. I don't know if you got 5 kids. I don't know if you got one. Like, how many mouths do I got to feed? You know what I mean? Like, that makes a factor because of the type of lifestyle that you want to have. Like, does this girl or does this guy have a whole soccer team with them? Like, what is it that you're bringing? What do I have?
Yeah, you said I thought about Nick Cannon, but it's okay.
Listen, that's the
but
difference though. He got money, money. He
yeah,
can take care of all of them little
right,
children.
right.
So
You
it's okay,
can't.
but it was a plan. He knows the type of lifestyle, and those girls and those people that they're with, they know what comes with him. Again, when I'm getting married, if I'm getting married, I want to know, do you have children? Give me that opportunity to say, yes, I want to mind you and your 5 children, or no, I'm out.
Okay, my
I
dad.
think it's a valid question.
It sure is. It sure is because before I didn't have any kids, I thought that my thought process was I didn't want someone with kids because I want to build my own family, right? I want to grow my own family. I didn't want to come into something that's already established. Just
Hmm.
like she said, yo, she wanted to meet somebody and grow with them. I
Oh,
wanted to
I've
grow.
always said that.
I want to grow my own family. I didn't want to come in and start somebody else's or in a sense, you know.
Well, you got to remember, we were
i-
at
i-
different stages. Again, guys, everything depends on the
so
type of stage that you are in
right.
your life.
So
We were
back
young.
then I was like, back then for me I was like, yo, I'm not taking care of nobody kids, right? When that's before I had kids, before I was single doing my thing, right? Now I'm in a different stage of my life where I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna say that right now, but I'm not going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. My wife tell me I ain't leaving to begin with, right? But in a sense where, say for instance, we go our separate ways, right? If I meet somebody, I don't want to like, I have my kids, right? And if I'm building a future, I'm gonna look at it two ways. I'm gonna look at it as, if I have my kids right now, right, and I go meet somebody and say they have 3 kids or even one, right? Whatever I have, if I'm married to that person, whatever I have now belongs to her, unless I put it in my will or my trust that
You
it
got to make
belongs
sure
to my
that, correct,
kids,
your documents are all
right?
set.
So you have to be careful of stuff like that. So you work your ass off, right?
Mm.
You work your ass off for years, right, to build a future. You and the person that you was growing with didn't work out, and now you meet somebody else, and
Yep.
God forbid you meet this person, you get married in a year, they say, yo, fuck it, I'm leaving, but now I want to take half your shit, right? And all you work for, when what you could have left for your kids went to somebody else. Not even that, let's take it a little further. Say for instance, God forbid you pass away a year into the marriage, everything that you had belongs to now the new wife that you only been with for a year. What if that wife don't like your 2 kids? They don't get shit, right? Unless you
Hmm.
leave something in a will or trust, right? Now they're gonna be battling court for probate, all that stuff. So you have to be careful. That's how I look at it. I look at it from like going forward, like, yo, I'm not doing that. I'm not remarrying for shit. I can say that now. I'm not doing that. I'm not taking away from my kids. So that's my view on things, right? Um, so that's it. If you have kids, I mean, back then I would be
I
asking the
just feel
question.
like, okay, again, it all depends on the stage that you're in. When we were young, we could dictate more of what we truly want in regards. Like, I didn't want anybody, I didn't want to go into anyone's world. I wanted to build my own world. So
Right.
I was in college again. So I looked for another person that was also on my level who did not have children. We can grow this empire together. That was my views. God forbid, like he said, we're not going anywhere, but these are for people that maybe are a little bit more older or whatnot. You do have to realize that we're not spring chickens anymore,
Right.
right? And so we're gonna come. You may have children, that person may have children, and then you have a beautiful blended family. But what comes along with that is that you got to protect yourself and your children, because not everybody out here is gonna be, looking out for your kids. And I know people personally that if they passed away, like their kids wouldn't get anything. So that's why it's important that we do have a will, that we do have, whatever in place, so we could protect certain assets and things of that nature. But I just felt like it was a good question to ask. Do you have children? Right? So the next one is, do you want children?
That's a big difference.
That's a difference too, right? Because again, we are a little bit older. Um, some people have children, some people don't. For me, I don't want no more children. So for people that may have children, they may say, you know what, I already got three of my own. I don't want more children. So these are things that you need to know up front. Don't try to change anyone's opinion on something. They're set in their ways.
Don't think that they're gonna change.
Correct.
I'm gonna say this shit right now because again, if me and her
Which
ever
we're not.
supposed to go anywhere, me no want no more picnic. None.
Meaning we don't want any more children. Let me translate for the people that are not Jamaican. We don't want any more children.
I don't want no
because we're
more.
in a different phase of life, right?
Because, like again, I look at it like, yo, for one, I don't want to go through that shit no more. I don't want to go through the crying stage of baby. Yeah, I don't want to go through that no more. But on top of that, again, it's me starting over with somebody else and me taking away from my kids.
But that person may want children.
Then
right?
move on.
But hold on, that's not the right person for you.
Right. That's not at that point. I would be looking for somebody that I can kick it with. A partner. And now when
we're not talking about us, you guys.
No.
People are about busting out laughing right now.
Right. But in a sense, it's like, yo, I've met people, and this is how I learn as well, right? Because when I used to sell cars, I used to meet a lot of people that come into the dealership, and they've been together for years. Some have been married for years. Some have been together for years but not married. And now, being the age that I am now, years later, I can understand why they didn't get remarried. They're just partners, right? Because they establish a life, they built something, and they don't want to take away from their kids, right? The other person that they're with will be fine when they die. There's certain things that are set up that they will benefit from, but they don't want to take away what they work so hard for to build for their kids. Now they meet somebody else, and all of that goes out the window, and their kids don't get anything. So it's like, for me, like, yo, no more. Yeah, I don't want no more kids. So if you're out there and you meet somebody, and you're the type of person, I say that's why I said it's a very valid question, a very important question, because you might be in a stage where you meet somebody and you want kids, and that person don't want kids, but you find it like, yo, you could rock with them, everything is good, but yo, can you go on in life knowing that you wanted kids, but you never had the opportunity to have kids because you just want to kick it with this person, when there's a lot more people in line that have qualities just as good or even better than that person that's waiting to give you a soccer team. Like, yo, you see what I'm saying? So those are things that you have to look at. For me, my point of view is I don't want no more kids.
Correct.
Right? So you have to look at it, and when you meet somebody, if you want to have kids, like, yo, that's it. I'm not telling you to ask on the first date or not.
No, but I think it is important though.
But it's important.
No, I'm not letting that pass. We are grown. We're getting older, and when you go out, I haven't been on no dates, obviously, but I feel like when you go out and you're meeting and you're encountering other people, you're gonna talk about what you want.
Yeah.
Like, yo, do you guys do you want children? Do you have children? Like, you're asking questions because you're trying to figure out. You're trying to find that person to build with. Like, you don't have time to be wasting on people. Like, you don't have the time. So it's either you want it or you don't. And if you don't want kids and I want kids, this is not gonna work. Yes, it was fun. I'm not even going to kick it with you because then emotions get involved, right? And then
Very
you think
true.
you could change people. At that point, you just need to cut it off and go on to the next person. Like, don't waste time. These are questions that you're asking because you want to get married. You want to build a family. You want to do certain things. So you're asking valid questions from now because you're trying to cut out all of the BS. It's either you want it or you don't.
Hmm. A good one is, do you even want to get married? Not thought about it, right?
Yeah, but these are questions for people that want to get married. That's what this topic is about. So
That needed.
another thing is, I think that you should ask, is did you grow up in a single parent household, or did you grow up with both of your parents? Because the dynamics is two different things.
Two completely different shit.
Okay. Um,
Completely. Because,
like George grew up
yo,
in a
y'all call
two.
him a
Oh,
judge.
sorry. You guys know I like to call him
Yeah,
Sheldon, but
but
it doesn't
hey,
matter.
yeah,
My
yeah, yeah, yeah,
husband,
yeah, yeah,
you guys
yeah.
know. You already know. We
I
already told you the
forgot. Yeah.
story. So my husband grew up in a two-parent household, right? And I grew up in a single-parent household. And it is two different worlds, right? And hold on, we do have some comments coming in, so let me just go ahead and take care. I agree. You definitely need to know that up front because it's a deal breaker. See?
Yeah.
So other people agree with us on that. And I just feel like it's so important to know, like, because it stems from their mentality,
Okay.
right? And it lets you know, like, how they may act or behave in that. I'm not saying not everybody's growing up in a two-parent household that means that marriage is not going to work. It's just letting you know up front, like, you understand a little bit better on their thought process and things of that nature. Like when I first met you, I had a single person mentality, wouldn't you say?
You did.
I did, right? Oh, you want to bye? That kind of attitude because I grew up around that. I never grew up seeing what true love or marriage is like. When I say nobody, there ain't nobody in my family that I could say that could show me what true love looked like. But then I looked at George's family. We all have issues and problems, right? But his parents have been together forever. And
Shit.
that made a difference for me.
About 40 years now,
Y-
probably.
Like 40 something?
Yeah,
I don't know.
40
However,
years.
it's deep. All I know is that's long to be with
Long,
them.
long time,
Long,
long
long
time.
time. But they've been together. They have learned to work out things in marriages. And I will never forget.
A lot of issues, a lot of
Yeah,
problems,
but
but
hold on though. One thing
it,
his mom came to me on my wedding day and she told me, like, keep your marital problems to yourself, right? And that was the best. Her and my
so
aunt,
if you're not married yet, it will be keep your
relationship
relationship
problems
problems
to
to
yourself.
yourself.
And that was probably her and my aunt, Auntie Shaman. They both came to me at my wedding and told me that. And that was the best advice that they could have gave me. Because I come from the world of you share everything,
Hmm.
right? And but then when you do that, it can mess up your relationship. It can mess up because people start to view you different, start to talk bad. You know what I mean? It gave me it taught me respect. When I saw, it's just I like to take advice from people that are like thriving in that field. And we used to get advice from people that were married, obviously, when we both used to work at the dealership and things of that nature. But I just think the mindset lets you know, like, okay, can you handle a person? See, I may have come from a single parent household, but I wanted that. I craved for that unity and I wanted to make whatever work. I didn't want that. I wanted to break those generational curses.
Okay, so you want to break a cycle
A
that you.
cycle.
So it's like when you see something that you get a lot of qualities, a lot of stuff that you see from your parents, and the things that you love, you might say, all right, you know what? Let me hold those dear to my heart because I want to do those for my kids as well. The things you hate and you despise, you said, yo, I will never do that to my family. So now I want to make sure that I never go that down that same path. Like, so for me, um growing up in a two-parent household, um it's good, right? Because you see two different things, you pick up different habits from your both parents. Now, I didn't live with my parents for a certain period of time in my life, but having them both in my life the whole time, it and seeing them married the whole time give me a different perspective on what marriage is, right? Versus a single parent household. I would look at it like, yo, all right, I know marriage come with trials. I know marriage come with tribulations. I know marriage comes with tests. So with that, I know I have to work my ass off when those time come, right? It's not for me to easily give up and quit, right? I also know that with that, my parents done some things and I've seen certain things. So I know that if I see that I don't want to do it, or if I see certain things that I don't like, then I damn sure know I'm not gonna do it with my wife.
Yep.
The things that I see that they do, then I said, all right, I'm gonna do that. So when my mom look at me and say, yo, make sure you don't talk bad about your wife to anybody, not to me, not to your dad, not to anybody. Now, I saw firsthand what that can do with previous relationships, because what happened was when I had a relationship, this was before my wife, and I talked bad about that person. Well, my pops immediately went off, right? He went off. So your parents are always going to choose side for you, but now they look at the person that you're with different, right? So every time that person comes around, you don't know how they feel about you anymore. So when you go ahead and you talk shit about the person that you're with, be careful who you talk shit about. If it's the people that you love and care about, and you're talking shit about the person that you're gonna spend the rest of your life with your mom, your dad, your best friend, all them people. When you go around them and you're always around them, your husband or wife is gonna get side eye every time,
Yep.
and they're gonna know like, yo, why they're treating me like this? Why are your family like this to me? And sometimes it's because you're talking shit to your family about your person you're with, and they're
Mm-hmm.
getting the backlash of it, not knowing, right? They might think that, yo, you're down with them, you're ride or die, you're gonna do every fucking thing for them, but behind their back you're talking shit. And when you're
Mm-hmm.
talking the
Ooh, look at them
shit,
hearts
you
going
gotta
up.
you gotta be careful what you're saying, because at the end of the day, it's gonna affect your marriage. It's gonna affect your relationship. So anything that me and my wife have, I don't give a shit. It stays in my house, right? It stays in my house. We work on that. I'm not gonna run to my wife. I'm not gonna run to my mom and say, "Guess what? Get this is what she did. I can't believe she say this to me." Or guess this, and this. No, I'm not gonna do that, right? I never take marriage like therapy or shit. I don't need it. I don't. We don't. We thank God. Thank God.
We communicate, right? That's why you get 15 years.
Right.
He left me
So
hanging on that
so
last one, y'all. He left me hanging on that
so
last one.
so those are things that
But we do have somebody. Hold on, hold on. Julia said sometimes we are raised to be so independent that it can hurt us in relationships. You have to learn how to allow each other to lead at different times in your relationship. Oh, yes, sis. Most definitely. Because we do come from that. You right? Because you got to remember, back then, our parents may have not been as strong, our mothers or whatever. So if they were weaker, they now turn around and try to make us stronger. But they, in return, it kind of hurt us in a way, but not trying to say they did their best. They know they just wanted us to be able to stand on our own and to do our own thing. But then it turned around and it hurt us because we were so independent, where we became the era of we don't need no man. We independent women. Remember when?
right, but again, it makes you not become that mom, that the mom or the dad that you, the best mom or best dad that you can be, right? So again, you have to look at it as when you were raised in, say for instance, if you're raised in a single, if you're a if you're a man, if you're a man right now, you're raised by all women, right? You never had a man around in your life.
Mm,
You're not gonna know how to be the best fucking dad. You're not. The only thing you could do is do what you always wanted to do. You
correct.
always want your dad to do with you, or you always want a dad figure to do with you, and you say, yo, you know what? When I have my kid, I'm gonna do that with them. But how you know it's right? Because it makes you feel good, but is it gonna make your child feel good? Right? So the thing is, growing up in a single family household, you'll see dudes that are raised by women. They'd be like, yo, I'm raised by my mom, and my So they're good in a sense treating that woman because yo, their mom treat them with so much respect. They'll never disrespect their mom, so they get that good treatment. But when it comes to being a dad, they're a fucking asshole because they never know how to be a dad. And I'm not saying they're an asshole, it's just that they never learn how to be a dad, right? So they have to figure that out,
Yeah.
right? They have to figure that out. So me, I was blessed enough to have both parents together, right? To see how that is. I don't know what single parent lifestyle feel like or look like. I don't know how
You
it look
don't
like.
want to know.
I I don't want I don't want to know, right? I don't want to know. If my parents, you know, doing like I wouldn't want to know that, right? But I can see where it can affect because I see it the difference with us with certain things, how we view certain things is different. Mindset when it comes to certain things is going to be different. Why? Because she was raised in a single parent household versus I was raised in a two-person household. So when we first met, she was quick to do shit. She was quick to knock heads off, yo, whatever. I'm like, yo, all right, cool. Because again, we were in early stages. I'm not. I was. My personality was never the type to run down somebody to begin with. I was never that person. So when she say, all right, peace out, I'll be like, all right, cool. But she'll come running back.
Oh, you full of don't even y'all. Listen, we on this live. He talking a lot of shit today.
Didn't
Okay,
you didn't
really, really,
yo.
yo. Let me, yo. You know, I'm not even gonna put him on blast right now for y'all. Let me go to the comments because my husband is talking real mess right now. So, RP says let's get it up here on the screen that the deal breaker comment about the kids. So they agree about that. Let's see, we got a bunch of comments. I never considered the two parent household. Yeah, I mean, it makes a difference. I think this very is something that you should ask. Not saying that you won't be
It's
with that
and it's
person,
not a deal
but it's
breaker,
just
but you have to understand.
understanding the mentality of the person and where they come from and how they move. I just feel like that makes one. Julia said, "Preach." Suzette says, "Amen." Say it. Oh,
So
so y'all are really loving this
so
topic today.
let's go to thing which is it kind of goes in coincide with the next one, which is what no, which is what is the relationship like with your family, right?
Oh, yes.
Because that kind of coincide with you going in a single family household versus um two family household, right? So it kind of go almost together, but not
Not
almost together.
really. I mean,
But
it does and it doesn't, right? So, what is your relationship with your immediate family? Like, how do you treat your mother, right? Like, when I was dating, I am looking to see how he treats his mom. Because if he's being disrespectful and rude and out of pocket, I'm out.
let me ask you this: what if I was disrespectful to my father?
If you're disrespectful to your father, I don't want you to be disrespectful to
You
anybody,
wouldn't give a shit.
but it would be different
You,
though because I'm a
I'm
female.
be real with her. She wouldn't give a shit. She wouldn't give a shit, and that's where the single parent household come in, right?
Maybe.
And two parent household come in. She wouldn't give a shit, and the reason why is because the relationship with her dad when I first met her wasn't the best,
Now me and my
right?
dad, I
Now,
love my dad. We're
right,
close now.
right, but when we first met, that wasn't the greatest. So if I was disrespectful to
You're
my
right.
dad,
I feel like
she
I'm in
wouldn't give a
therapy
shit,
right now, guys.
right? But if I was good with my mom, all good, right? And that's the thing.
Because it's how you gonna treat me.
Because my view on things was all right. When I first met her, that was kind of iffy for me, and the reason why is because yo, I don't want that type of shit, right? I want unity. So like I learned certain things that she went through because she was raised in a single family household. So she was a certain type of way, right? So when you're meeting somebody, you have to understand certain dynamics, why the relationship is what it is with their immediate family, right? So if you meet a guy and he was raised by his dad, right? And you say, well, you know, how's the relationship with your mom? And he automatically say, yo, fuck my mom. I don't give a fuck if she dies or truck can hit her in the street right now,
You'd be like, oh
I
my
don't give a
God.
shit. You probably would get up and be scared and walk the fuck out, right? You don't even want to be on a date with him, but you don't understand why he said that. His mom could be somebody that get up and walk out and left them, right? Taken them, left them on the street, or she was just stringed out on drugs and then leave, or she could have just say, yo, fuck y'all, I don't want to be part of y'all life. You was a mistake. I didn't want your dad. I didn't want you, and she left, right? You don't know why that person say it, so you have to listen and really digest why it comes, or why it stemmed from what they say. So not because the relationship with them, with their parents, immediate family, could be shit. You have to understand why. That's valid for him to say, yo, that's how he feels, right? Now when it comes to him treating a woman right, you probably will be a little bit scared. The reason why is because if he have that anger against his mom, he might have that same anger against you in
Mm,
the future, right?
true.
Because you don't know. You don't know. Now, I'm not telling you because you meet somebody like that, just be say, yo, I don't want that. I mean, again, you have to figure that out. You have to figure out if you want to be with that person, how their personality is, how they are, and just go from there. But you have to realize that, yo, when it comes to immediate family, people are gonna have shit going on,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And then one of the comments says, they started laughing. They said, you right. Women don't care much how you treat your dad. Yeah.
No, they don't care. It's all about mom. So yo, if you walk around and you see how somebody treat their mom, and be like, yo, okay, 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 he's a mama's boy, and they love mama's boy, right? But then when they
No, to an
see,
extent. To an
then
extent. Some
yeah,
mama's boys be too much. They don't know how to get off of the titty. Like, come on. Like they're just
they
too attached to the mama. Like, and I feel like that
still
can
sucking
no,
titty,
but that can
still
hurt your relationship just as well too. Like,
facts.
sometimes you're so dependent on your mom. Like, when you get married, you gotta break that. You gotta come over to your wife and try to build. But some people don't know how to let go of that attachment. It's good that you love your mom, but there's some people that's just OD with it.
Yeah, but those people, again, their circumstances, right? If you grow up in a
Single
single
parent.
parent household, it always come back to, if that person now grow up in with their mom and their dad, and they're just stuck on that titty same way when they're older, then that's a fucking problem. I see it like, yo, sorry, I wouldn't say it's a problem. He just love his mom, right? But there's probably something why they probably experienced something together, or something
Yeah.
dramatic might happen. Who knows? You
But
have to
also
realize
the
or find
mom
out
have
what that
to
is,
let
right?
him go and be a
Right.
husband
The thing
or
is,
husband to
the
be.
thing the thing that you're gonna find is, if somebody suck on to their mom a lot, it's probably gonna be the single family, the single household. Because if they're stuck in on, is because that's all they knew. Their mom is all they knew. When times was tough, mommy was doing it. When they didn't have shit to eat, me and mommy didn't have shit to eat. When we didn't have no place to stay, me and mommy had no place to stay. We've been through shit together. So now they meet a female, and that female is taking the fucking place of their mom. The person that they know been there riding with them, give birth to them, all that stuff. So for them to let go is gonna be hard,
It
but
is.
it's something that they have to do in order to build that relationship. So now their kids can be different than how they were. Because I know that if you raise in a single family household, you don't want your kids to be raised in a single family household,
No.
especially if it was difficult,
Yeah, you
right?
don't. I don't want my kids for that. That's why, like, I preach to my children. I talk to them about love, and I don't want that for them. And that's why I am building the life that I don't want them to have. And so somebody said, hell no, we don't want no mama boy. We just want you to respect her and treat her right. Yeah, like we want you to be independent. We want you to stand on your own. like like you love your mom,
Mm-hmm.
and I know that,
Mm-hmm.
right? But
Call
if
my mom, tell my mom I love her every day, appreciate her, all that
correct,
stuff.
but if it's to the point where like if we're in a relationship or marriage and you don't talk to me about nothing, like you only talk to your mom about everything, and it's like there's that attachment. Like why, yo, go marry your mama. Like let me go. Like because you don't know how to separate.
But and that's the thing, right? Because this is a key thing. you have to learn how to separate.
Correct.
You have to let go of your mom. You have to let go of your parents, and now involve that woman or that man to be the number one person in your life, because that's the person you're gonna build with.
Hmm.
Your mommy and daddy built a life that they wanted together and had you involved in it. So why now that when you're ready to build your life, you're still letting them be the head of your life when you're supposed to be the head of your life with your wife and husband?
Hell on, baby.
So
Where the
so
hearts at? Give me
so
some hearts for that one, y'all, because
so
woo.
so those are the stuff that you have to look at and say, yo, you know what? I gotta make sure that if they provide a good example for me, then I'm gonna go by that. But the things that I love, I keep. The things that I hate, then get rid of it, and then just move on from there. But when you meet people, it's very important that you know the type of relationship that they have with their parents, because that's gonna show you and how how their family is to begin with. Because remember, yo, can you deal with that shit? Like like are you able to live the type of life that their family is living? So if their whole family have it to where, yo, they're always arguing, they're always fighting, they're always fussing,
Toxic.
and it's toxic, why the fuck you think that your marriage is not gonna be toxic? Why you think that person have to say, yo, I hate it so much. I don't want to be a part of it, and I need to break the cycle. And
Yeah.
that's cool. You met a diamond in the rough. But most people, they're stuck in that environmental stage to where, yo, they grew up in it. So if the only person that can change is them, they
Yeah.
have to
You
recognize
have to.
that, yo, they have to recognize that, yo, fuck, I grew up in a toxic relationship with my family, and yo, I can't have that. I need to change, right? I want better. I want to make sure that the relationship that I have with my significant other is not going to be like that.
Absolutely. I agree. So, what would you say the next one would be?
What?
I would say, what is your goals in life?
I think
Right?
I think that's like one of the first questions we always ask too, right?
What are your goals in life? I want to know, like, does your goals align with my goals? So RP gave hearts for that one. But I want to know, do we align? Is my dreams similar to yours? We're not going to be exactly the same, but do we want the same things out of life? Because what are we working for? Right? Like, why are we getting married? Why are we trying to become one with each other? Like, what is it?
Like, yo, the sad part is if you get married before you have goals.
Yeah,
Did you understand that?
the sad part.
The sad part is if you get married to somebody before y'all even sit down and write goals down together,
Yeah,
that's a recipe for disaster. Because you're going into a marriage
blind,
with no plan,
nothing.
no vision, and a man without a vision will perish. A man without a plan, if you don't have no plan, where the hell you gonna go? So the thing is, if you have a goal, what are your goals with getting married? Yo, you can't just get married because you Google Gaga with somebody. Like that shit don't fucking work. That to me is like, yo, it has to be more than that. You can find somebody else. I guarantee you this. If you love somebody and care about it, I guarantee you there's somebody out there who will make you feel the same or better. Most of the times, or some of the times, right? But the thing is, it's, can that person stimulate your mind?
Mm-hmm.
Like sexually,
That matters. Don't
sex
get it twisted.
sexually, right? But can that person stimulate your mind when it
Correct.
comes to, yo, just sitting down and talking,
And
like, and
planning.
planning and building goals and writing out stuff together, and then when they're talking about their goals, you get excited and be like, shit, damn, I need to level up a little bit because I need to have some big goals too. When I first meet her, I'm like, yo, shit, I need to get my shit together because she was graduating. I was still going to school.
But it wasn't
And
even about me graduating. It's just the
and
direction I was wanting
right,
to
and
go.
the level she's talking about all this stuff, and I'm like, oh shit. And I'm like, yo, she kind of motivated me to be a little bit more better. right? To be not to be a little bit more better, but just to be better, to level up myself. So like going forward in our relationship, it was always like that. Yo, what are the goals that we have set out for ourselves? Yo,
We've had
what
a
we're trying to.
mission statement for
Yeah,
our marriage. Like we really treat it like it's a business,
yeah,
right? We have goals that, we want separate, but we have goals that we want together. We have a vision board. Two places in our house, we have a vision board in our office and in our bedroom.
yeah.
And it just reminds us of what we're trying to accomplish for not only ourselves, but what we want for our children. And I feel like before you get married, this stuff needs to be laid out.
And you know the crazy thing is, what we're doing is we're even though we have our goals, we're letting our kids see that. So
Correct.
now our kids are growing up knowing that they need to set goals, they need to do certain things as well, right? They know that when they get into a marriage, and we preach to them all the time, yo, when you get into a marriage or when you're doing this, make sure that you have goals set together, right? Now not all your goals are gonna be together, because what she might want to do is different from what some of the things she want to accomplish might be different, completely different from what I want to do, right? So I'm supportive all the way. I'm
Yeah.
gonna support her.
We
I'm
have
gonna
family goals.
hoorah, right? But then you have that family goal, and you have that goal that, yo, everybody's working to achieve together. We come together, we support each other, and most of the times our goals are similar anyway.
Yeah, it is.
They're similar anyway. So you have to figure out, when you first meet somebody, you have to find out what their goals are, because if they look at you and be like, yo, I don't even know, baby girl, I just came here to meet you tonight,
Mhm.
like, you need to get your ass up and leave.
Correct. But
I'm
hold on, we
a,
got some more people commenting. I don't want to like let it pass. Ooh, this is a long one. Hold on. How do I shrink this? There we go. So we have a comment. It says a husband cannot allow the mother to have a say so and run their marriage. He has to his mother and leave and what?
Cleve.
Cleave to his wife. Sorry. Yes. So that's true though. I completely agree with that. We talked about you just got to separate. You got to stand on your own. And then Julia, she wrote one as well too. For some reason, I can't get it on here. Hold on. You want to read Julia's out? Can you
Can't see
see
it.
it? Hold on. I
Go
got to get
ahead.
it. The person has to show potential even if they aren't where they want to be when you meet them. They need to have dreams and goals for themselves.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And then once you have goals and dreams for yourself, and then at that point, we can combine and we can make a plan because before you say I do, you need to make a plan of where you're trying to go.
But isn't that why people, like, some people get together, like, yo, when you first meet somebody, and yo, you talk to them and be like, yo, what's your goal, right?
Yeah.
What you got planned? I just meet you. What's some of the what's your 1 year goal? What's your 2 year goal? What's your 3 year goal? What's your 5 year goal? What you want to accomplish in life? You're not gonna ask all that question at once,
Yeah, of
right?
course.
But
Throughout.
then when you see that person, how that person answer you is gonna either make you like them more, or gonna be withdrawn from them. So in a sense where they'd be like, uh, baby girl, I'm just here to meet you tonight, I take it day by day. Then get up and leave. Get up and leave. You're wasting your time. I No matter how good they look, how good she look, if you want a one night, then cool. But don't think that it's gonna go for it, because their mindset is not there. And you're gonna have to train somebody, right? But now, when that person answer you and be like, yo, you know what? you know I'm in real estate. I'm just getting my feet wet, but yo, I'm planning on owning at least a house by the end of the year. I want to have a couple apartments, and I'm trying to see how I could get into courses and mentors and all that stuff. Like, you're gonna say, fuck, this person have
Yeah.
something. He's looking for, he's looking into the future. He
Yeah.
knows he got a way to get there, right? So you're getting excited. Somebody could be like, yo, I want to have a food truck. Yo, I love to cook, and one of my goals is to have a food truck. You're gonna hold on to that, because now you're gonna say, yo, all right, how can I help you get that food truck?
Yeah.
How can I help you get your first property? How can I help you to become a nurse? How can I
Mm-hmm.
help you to, become that person that you want to be? Now you're trying to help. Now you want to help them,
Mm-hmm.
right? as best as you can because that person have a goal and now you're excited, especially if they tell you some good shit. You probably be like, damn, this is mine good enough, right? But you get
It helps you
excited,
level up though, right?
right?
It helps push you. It helps, you know, you want that person. You want somebody that's going to be there with you. Like you're not on this journey by myself. Why am I getting married? If you're not going to help me accomplish my dreams just as well as I'm going to help you accomplish your dreams, like there's no point for us to actually get married. I don't feel so.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
but also when I know this is not something that, I personally feel like you need to know like what these people's hobbies are as well too. This is something offside. I just feel like, and I just thought about it because me personally, I don't want no man that's playing video games all day. If you come home, as soon as you come home, you sit in front of the TV, you got a bear and you watching TV all day, watching or playing video games all day, you're not the man for me. Y'all need to find out what their hobbies are. If you are an outside person, you like to hike, you like to go to the gym, and this person don't like to lift a weight, they don't want to eat healthy, they don't want to do none of that. It's like it's holding you back and you're gonna have resentment. But they showed you all the signs in the beginning.
No, people do change though, right?
No, no, no. People do,
So
right? But you, again, you're trying to make them change and you should not be trying. If that's all you want to do is play video games, I meet you. I'm like, hey, let's go for a hike. Nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm good. It's too much.
yeah,
I
that's
shouldn't
not
have to change
that
you.
right. That's not the
That's not the person. I
but
just feel
my
like,
thing is this though. Again, yo, let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all something, right?
oh
Let me tell
Lord.
y'all back in the day,
Back
right?
in the day.
Back in the day, right? When you first meet somebody, you will stop what the fuck your hobby is just to please that person. You will stop doing the shit that you do just to please that person or to get with that person,
Mm,
right? Once you get with that person, then you be like, I already hit, I already do this. Now you take it back a little bit and be like, yo, let me go back to my ways. If she like it, she don't. If not, blah blah blah. So at the end of the day, it's like, yo, when it comes to people and their hobbies, some people will you won't even see it in the beginning stages because again you're in that Google Gaga stage, right? But the thing that you have to realize is how far you're gonna let it go before you leave if you see that happen. If you're 3 months in and you see certain things that you don't like, why go 3 years later before you say, fuck it, I'm leaving? You just
yeah.
waste 2 years
Of
and
your
9 months
life.
of your life,
We don't have time to be wasting.
right? Yo, time right now is important. The older
Precious.
you get, you realize how important time is. The more you realize, yo, people are falling off this earth. When you're
Mhm.
younger, you think, yo, you got a lot of time left on
Yep.
this planet. When you get older, you start realizing, shit, I I have a damn 11 about to be 12-year old. Shit, I got gray hair coming all over. Like you
All
start
already
you
there.
you start seeing shit different. You start realizing every day you get up, it's a blessing.
Hmm.
So when you're 30 and you think, yo, you got a lot of time because you're gonna live till you're 80 and you got 50 years left, right? And you say, yo, I'm just gonna kick it with this person, just know that
Yeah.
you can fall off at 35. Just know that nothing is promised,
Yeah. Nothing.
right? So don't waste your life with something or someone that you know you don't want in that begin with. Live by yourself and have fun if that's the case, but don't get attached, right? But do your shit and develop on you, work on you while you wait on the right person to come. But what a lot of people is a lot of people settle. A lot of people settle for
Whew.
what they have
Yes.
because they feel like, yo, I've been waiting for a man or I've been waiting for a girl and I finally got one. She got a lot of bad habits, but I think I can deal with them. Fuck that shit. You don't have a lot of bad habits to deal with. You have your own bad habits that you need to work on. And if you work on your bad habits, you'll become a better version of yourself to where you could inspire, rock with people, and find a right woman or right man to come in your
Hmm.
life.
Don't
Right?
settle.
So when you're settling, that means that you're now working on somebody else's bad habit when you should be working on your own. And if you work on your own,
Preach it.
more people, more things will flow in your life, right? So those are the things that you have to look at and say, yo, whatever their hobby is, if it's now, bear in mind, you're gonna have hobbies that people don't like as well, the person that
Yeah.
you don't like. So you have to know how to deal with that. But if you know damn sure that you don't want nobody that I never want anybody that smoke. That's one thing for me. I don't want no cigarette breath girl come blowing nothing. I don't want that.
Y'all see what I deal with every day. Like he has me dying every day. I'm laughing.
So yo, sorry, but I that's one thing I couldn't stand. I couldn't stand a girl that's me though. That's me personally, right?
Yes.
And the reason why that was one of my things too, especially
Yo,
as I
that's an
got older,
expense.
is because my dad dealt with that shit and I saw what it did to him.
Yeah.
So I didn't want that. I didn't want,
You don't want no smoker.
like,
I
right.
got you.
So that was my thing though. And for you it could be, yo, you don't want nobody that bite their fingernails. It could be just a pet peeve for you. You don't
Yeah.
want nobody that own dogs, or like if I
Yes.
had a dog, I wouldn't
Oh
be with
no,
her.
I'm out.
That like that it wouldn't have worked out, right?
No,
It wouldn't have worked out. No matter how much I would have tell her, yo, my dog is nice, he's friends, she would have fucking left. She wouldn't have been like, yo, peace out. He got a dog. I
I'm
ain't want
out.
nothing to do with it, right? So those are things that you have to realize and learn, and be like, yo, all right, they got a hobby. Is it something that's a no for me? I'm not trying to change nobody because I got bad habits of my own that I need to work on. And by working on it, I could become a better person.
We got some comments coming in. Carl says, "Great topic, guys." So I'm glad that you guys are loving these relationship topics. This is what we want. We want the feedback from you guys so we know what to bring to you guys every Saturday. Um, let's see. Go ahead. You want to say this one? Which one is this?
Wait. This is so good. All right, Miss
Yeah.
Jenny.
Yes,
Jenna.
Jenna. RP
See,
says, hold on. We got more coming. Girl, that's right. All right. They're loving it, babe. They're loving it today. Kyle said, facts. Facts. Hold on, Kyle. They say something else. You got to see people in different conditions to see who they really are. Ooh, that's a good one, right? Because you want to know, like, would this person rock with you? Like, I saw George in, well, whatever you want to call him, y'all, but I saw my husband in a different light because of the conditions when I went through the whole illness. I saw, like, wow, most people would have got up and left. Not everybody can handle, not every mm, person is strong enough to deal with someone that goes through something like that. But because he did not leave me when I was at my lowest point in life, I know I see him differently. And if he could rock with me for that long period of time as I was going through my illness, he can continue to rock with me forever. I'm telling you, we've been through a lot, and I just saw him differently. But I agree with you, Kyle. You people got to be put in circumstances to see who they really are, and I know he's the real OG for me. RP said that's a good one, Kyle. Yeah, I agree with Kyle on that one because you don't know, right? Everything's all good. People say that, for better or for worse, but you don't really know until you put into those situations.
so let's so everything ties together, right? That's why
Mhm.
it's like, yo, all these questions that we're bringing up ties to why people get divorced. It could be multiple things. It could be
Mhm.
one thing, right? It could be all of them,
Yeah.
right? But because they never sit down and talk. My one of my things too is, one of the questions for me was, yo, do you believe in God? Right?
Yeah.
If I met somebody and they don't believe in it, and
It's just our
this
spiritual beliefs.
this is just for me. I don't care who you believe in, what you believe in, right? But for me at the time, I wanted to know, do they believe in God,
Yes.
right? And if they didn't, peace out.
Yeah. For me, what I did for him is I invited him to church.
Peace out. Like, and when she did that, yo, so I'm a God person, right? So I'm gonna tell you something. Sometimes they use it as weakness, right?
Who?
So and people, like for instance, my ex used to do that shit, right? Used to do that shit because I'm a strong believer in God. So when a fuck up happened,
He loves God, but he's a hot mess too, y'all.
they'll
He
be
done cussing off.
I
Okay,
am
I'm
I'm
just gonna
not
let
perfect.
y'all. He be like,
I'm
yo, you
not
believe
I'm
in
not
God, but you over here cussing.
Listen, I'm not perfect. Yo, Peter wasn't winning. Peter wasn't perfect. Yo, God don't use perfect people,
All
right?
right, go ahead. Talk
So
about
so
your
for
situation.
me, it's like, yo, they used to use church as a tool to get back. Yo, I go to church. I'm doing this now. I'm better. I'm doing. I'll be like, all
Mm.
right, you in church? All right, cool. All right. Yeah, next chance or whatnot. Same bullshit happen again, right? But my thing that I'm really saying here is like, yo, if you're spiritual, right, and you meet somebody and you want to rock with them and you want somebody that's spiritual as well, like, yo, if they're not spiritual, then what's the sense? Now, I know people that are together and they love each other, they can rock with each other, they do all that shit, and they believe one person believe in God, the other person don't believe in God. All right, cool. That's you, right? That's why I said everything is gonna be to their own liking or their own preference. For me, I know that I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
If somebody else, and you have to look at it, yo, if you meet somebody and you're Muslim and the other person is Jewish, how the fuck that gonna work? You want your kids to be Jewish because you're Jewish, and the other person want their kid to be Muslim because they're Muslim. How's that gonna work?
Yeah, these are things
These
you
are
have to
these
discuss beforehand.
these are things that you have to, and some people
But some
like,
people talk it out and say, hey, you know what? I'm allow you to raise our kids this way or whatever, and then you work it. But
but
everybody's different.
but you know the crazy shit that I look at, Crystal, is that some people give up their beliefs for a man or a woman.
No, I'm not doing that. Mm-mm. That's not gonna be me.
No, straight, no,
No,
real
people do
shit.
though.
Like you meet somebody, and like that's how deep it gets, right? So you meet. That's why for me is like if I met somebody that was Muslim, I couldn't be with them because the simple fact that I have to now decide what my kid's faith is gonna be, and my thing is I'm not turning the back on the God that I serve so that I can please a woman. Fuck that. I'm not doing that. Whatever you believe in, I'm happy for you. Whatever I believe in, I'm happy for me as well. But the thing is, I can't turn my back. And again, this is controversial, right? But the thing is, it's whatever you believe. You have a right to believe whatever you believe.
Yeah.
Well, how you was raised is you were raised to believe in certain things. We're in America. We were raised to believe in all kind of bullshit, right? So growing up, I was raised in Christianity. If I go ahead and meet somebody and think about it, I believe in this God the whole time, right? I believe in this God the whole time, and now I meet a woman, and because her shit is good and she make me feel good, I'm gonna turn my back and go become a Muslim? Nah, nah. Ain't nothing that fucking good for me to do to begin. I'm not doing it. So that's why you have to, yeah, you have to say, yo, is that the thing for you? It might not be. It might be like, yo, you know what? We're going to keep our religion separate and our kids will decide. All right, cool. But for me, that's one of the things I say, yo, do you believe in God?
Yeah, but I think, yeah, like you said, I think these are just questions that you need to ask up front so you can determine where you want to go in your life. If this person is somebody that you want to continue to rock with or not. I just think we all have a deciding factor in who we're going to be with on both sides, as a man and as a woman. And it just takes you just have to sit down and analyze, is this the person, is this the right person for me without me settling in life. We do have a question.
And
So, you
and
guys,
I'm
what are your
and
thoughts? What are some
I'm
questions you feel that you should ask before you get married?
yeah, and I'm gonna say this. I have nothing against other people' religion. It's whatever they believe, they believe. I'm not here to force nothing. I'm just talking from my point of view and what I believe, right? So it's some people you have to look at it as, yo, there's differences, and when you get together with someone, you have to realize that if you go ahead and do that, there's gonna be some kind of conflict. There's gonna be conflict with religion. There's gonna be conflict, right? Because if two people have different religions, you're raising your child, you want your child to have certain things growing up, if you believe in Christmas because yo, that's how your parents was, and all those holidays, you're gonna want to raise your kids because those are things that you look back and say, yo, you had fun. You want your kid to experience that. Well, if your significant other is Muslim and they don't believe in that shit, then that's a problem. It's gonna create a tension. It's gonna create conflict, and that becomes a divorce
Yeah.
if it gets too hard. Right now,
But you knew
now,
that up front.
right, but now imagine having that one conflict, and then on top of that, yo, they might have other things that develop. The hobbies is like their hobbies are out of this world. You can't stand the hobbies. And then they have other stuff that they're dealing with. They come from a single parent, and their single parent, this is what they do, and I don't want my kids to do that. And now you have three things going on. And by the time you know it, you end up in a divorce, and you say, yo, how did we end up in a divorce? Well, you if you never ask questions, you never sit down and discuss certain things, well, you would have knew that these are problems, are situations that gonna come up. And if you don't find a solution now for it, then you won't have a solution then. And
Yeah.
now you're saying, oh shit, how did we end up here? Well, you knew you was gonna end up there. You just didn't
Face
want to
it.
face it at that time.
Correct. Miss Jenna has something. She said, my fiance is a serious businessman and has told me he wants to get into real estate investment, and I want to travel, and I want to be a travel agent and credit repair business. And we both are strong believers in God. So, I mean, they make things work for them, you know? So, and that's it. You do not have to waver. You do not have to waver who you are, what you want out of life. There's millions of people on this planet. Not
Million, not
millions.
billions, not
Okay?
million, billions,
Well, you guys know
right?
what I mean. There's a ton of people in this world. You do not have to settle on the man next door.
Hmm.
You don't. You can get up, you can move to a whole nother country, you can find the man of your dreams or the woman of your dreams, but do not settle, guys. This is why we wanted to have this conversation because, as we approach that 15 years of marriage, we always get like, how does it work? Why does it work? Besides communication, is that we laid out a plan for our lives. We understood the differences, we understood what we brought to the table. We just tried to go over all the negative things, all the questions that you guys saw that we went over today. We personally asked each other some of these questions, right? Because I wanted to know like your financial, background. I wanted to know about your family. I need to have a better picture of what I'm getting into. I need to say yes full heartedly because I truly wanted to.
I didn't
Y'all.
ask all of them because I knew she was a female, so I didn't ask all of
We do have do not be unequally yoked. Correct. You gotta match, man.
them.
You
You have a
gotta
match up.
you got to. It's just I'm just you guys seen lately, especially as African American couples, like we already have that where we don't stay together, right? Statistically, which we know that there's other reasons why things don't work out, but it's like we're not asking the right questions. And then we become unhappy because we settled. And because we settled and we become unhappy, that resentment just builds up and builds up until we say we're done. But by that time we're done, we already have so much assets wrapped up. We already have children involved. And the decisions that we make don't just involve us, it involves our kids. If you decide to have kids, it involves our kids as well because you're not only hurting yourself, you're hurting other people and you're hurting generations to come. And I think the parents don't understand that when we did not lay down and ask to be here.
Never once.
Okay? Y'all lay down and brought us into this world, just like we lay down and brought ours into this world. So it's our duty, our responsibility to show them what it should be like. Marriage is beautiful when it's done right, right? And people change. Don't get me wrong, people change, distractions come, but you have to be a strong man or woman, and you have to tell, be gone, devil. You get what I'm saying? Like, people go come up in this world and try to tempt you because we're flesh, right? But we have to just like fight that. You have to constantly, and you have to know what you're working for and is it worth losing? And it's not. right? And anybody else have anything to say before we head out today? Because honestly, I absolutely loved this conversation. When it comes to relationships and things of that nature, I love when we talk about this kind of stuff.
All right, baby girl.
No, but seriously, guys, we just want to thank you guys so much for coming on today and supporting another episode of Impactful Living. You guys share this with your friends and your family, and let's just grow this together,
There we
right?
go.
All
All
right,
right,
guys.
guys.
We'll see you guys and next Saturday. Talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Mm, yeah. Your eyes tell me that you don't wanna leave just yet. No, my eyes agree. It's almost like when we first met. Oh, I don't care, it's getting too late. I want you and I can't wait. Don't wanna spend a minute without you. I know you feel the same. So come on, give me love. I'ma show you how to move.